The past few months have been somewhat surreal for the Crookes family of Steinbach, having endured the tragic loss of their 16-year-old son, Jonah, in a snowmobiling accident. Adam Crookes, Jonah's dad, says that with Jonah's passing, he lost much more than just his son.
And you definitely have days where it doesn't make sense to get out of bed. We know that, life is terribly short and it's always a different family until it's yours. Time is all that can really heal it, as you find the new normal, doing things that you kind of take for granted. For me, it's probably a little different than my wife. For me, I lost my best friend. We raced together. We rode every Thursday in Sandylands, us and about 8 other guys. So yeah, life is very, very precious. My wife and I caught on very quick when they were growing up that if I wasn't spending time with our kids and investing in them, that somebody else would, whether it was video games or friends or whatever it was. And so that's why I can truly say my son was my best friend, because he just was all, just like my daughter. I hate skating, but I coach her ringette team. I don't do it for me, I do it for her, and then it creates a bond and I can somewhat control where she is in her atmosphere, right? And so you know what, and now in hindsight looking back, I can say, wow, thanks Lord that I took and invested the time in him. I was here when he took his last ride on something that he absolutely loved to do.
Crookes, along with Randy Wolgamuth, are co-owners of SAR in Steinbach. And although Wolgamuth has 4 children and 7 grandchildren of his own, he quite looked upon Jonah as his own son.
He spent a lot of time here and working and helping, and actually him and I worked a lot of Saturdays together alone, so it was a pretty special time. Jonah was a special person, and after he's gone you think about a lot more than when people are around. We take it for granted too much, and but his lifestyle was very, I call it good, and he's 16 years old, and all I can say is when I was 16 I was quite different than he was, and he was an example to me of how he lived. So that's a legacy that he left with a lot of people, not just the 16-year-olds, but guys pushing 60 as well. So that's pretty special.
This Saturday, March the 8th, the inaugural Jonah Crookes Memorial Ice Race will take place. This is a 12-hour relay-style event beginning at 9 a.m.
This is something that came about from friends that Jonah and I that had spent some time with us riding during the summer, and they just said, you know what, summer gets really busy, and so let's try to do something in winter where maybe more people can be involved. And no, this is the first time, I don't know of anybody that's raced a dirt bike on ice for 12 hours, especially ending in the night. That's kind of a bit of a unique thing. But Jonah was a unique guy, so it just seems to fit well, and then it's going to an amazing cause. So no, this has never been done before.
The event is being held on Clearspring Road, approximately 2.5 miles east of Highway 12. The site is owned by Diamond Construction, who donated the use of their property for the event. All proceeds will be donated to the organization Firefighters for Christ, whose goal is to send deserving kids in the Southeast to summer camp. Given Crookes' connection with the Steinbach Fire Department, the fundraising connection was a great fit.
I'm a volunteer firefighter, have been with Steinbach for almost 16 years, and so about 5 years ago there was a chapter started here called FFC, which is Firefighters for Christ. And so I'm fairly involved with them, and so it's when we were talking about fundraising and stuff, it's something that's pretty close to my heart. So.
Saturday's event promises to be a thrilling experience, and according to Crookes, a 12-hour dirt bike relay on ice is something that's never been done before.
There's a group of guys that kind of started riding at St. Malo every Sunday about 5 years ago probably. So you are going to literally see dirt bikes that guys race in summer and trail ride. But the difference is that they have 1,200 studs and screws that are designed for ice. And so literally, to wrap your brain around it, where you can't walk, you can lean that motorcycle 18 inches off the ground at 60 miles an hour and you are in complete control. So people will be quite surprised if they've never seen it, which it's never been done around here as far as I know. So it's pretty cool. We have a guy coming out that is 60 years old, has been riding and racing dirt bikes for 40 years. He's vet champion in Manitoba. He is awesome. It is going to be absolutely awesome. And so, yeah, we're looking for people to come down, park up in the pits, walk down, buy some food. That's how we can support FFC and get them some money. They're going to have some breakfast there. They're going to have chili at lunch and supper and selling drinks all day. And that's how people can support us. There'll be a donation box. And yeah, just come down and hang out and watch the fireworks after, and it'll be a good time.
All the expenses for the event have been covered. So when people show up there on Saturday, March 8th, every penny they spend is going towards sending kids to camp.
Crookes says although it's difficult to believe some days that his son is no longer with them, he says the way Jonah lived his life has inspired him to be a better person.
You know, it's a little surreal. I don't think we really fathom, you know, you live your life and you try to live it good, and you try to instill in your kids to treat everybody with respect, even though you maybe don't know if they deserve it or not. Ultimately, that's not up to us. But live with no regrets. Treat everybody with respect. And so now I guess maybe we're seeing a little bit the fruits of our labor. It's a little bit hard to kind of take in, as the support's been phenomenal. But ultimately, it's not about us. It's about touching people's lives and letting people know how much you love Jesus. And it's pretty cool to see how a 16-year-old boy can just literally live his life and just treat people with respect, and how it's coming back to be a blessing.
For Steinbach Online, I'm Karen Black.